Yo guys, what's going on? So today we've got a very exciting upgrade on my RS3. Now this is the first time I'm actually doing a mod, and I'm not going to put it on my social media until you see it on the YouTube video. I'm not going to be putting this anywhere. So the first time you'll be seeing my carbon wheel on my RS3 is on this video. So we've gone for something probably seen before, or components of it I've seen before, but this combination of things that have gone together on this wheel I've definitely not seen before. A lot of people thought that the typical upgrade I'll do would be an R8 wheel. I can tell you now that it's not. I've stuck to the original RS3 wheel, but some of the specs that I've gone for on it and the options, it's a combination of things together that I've not ever seen before. Just to clear up again, this is something that we offer, so this is why I've kind of gone over. A lot of people are going to think it's a bit overboard, it's very over the top, but with my cars, I need to show the potential of the lengths you can go to with your car, which is why I kind of max spec out everything that I do. So without any further ado, we'll jump into the car and let's get the upgrade started. So I tried the airbag. As expected, I could not get it out. It's just a headache because there's basically, if I show you from here, there's 3 mechanisms in this middle. So you actually access from here and this corner here, but it's not just as simple as like other airbags where it pops out from one side, pops out from the other side. There's a third mechanism down here. So when you're doing the left side, you kind of have to do it and it'll click once, and then you pop it again and it'll click a second time, and getting that second time is just like impossible. So I wasn't able to do it, so I've called down to one of my mates who does know how to do it. He's at home at the moment, so he couldn't come over to me. So I've had to come to him, but it's no problem. We brought all the tools with us. Now he's got the airbag out for me. He's working on the airbag cover inside. I'm going to work on the steering wheel. So first thing we need to do is to get the trim out. Again, this is like the Golf video that I showed you. You have to be careful because they are held in from the back by connectors that connect to the paddles. So if you pull it straight out, it's going to rip the wire clean out, and you basically have to replace that wiring or the whole paddle in most cases. So pop the trim out from here. I've got the whole top end out now. Now you just go for the bottom end. There you go. That's now out, and this is all the connectors now holding it all in. Just getting the last connector out now. Right, that's the trim out, and what we actually need to do is transfer the buttons on this trim over to the new trim. So from the looks of it, there is some tabs at the top here that actually hold it in. I'm guessing if you undo them, we've got the buttons off both sides. There was a backing plate originally on the video you seen. It came off separate. This black bit actually comes off as well. I was trying to figure that out. It looked like it was part of the trim, and I thought it might be the wrong trim or something, but it wasn't. They come off together. So now it's just a case of getting them into this. I actually brought a load of tools in case it was screwed in, because on the Golfs it's screwed in. On this it isn't, so they just pop in flow. Should just pop into. So after some faffing around, it's my first time actually switching buttons over, but we've got it all in perfectly. Now what I need to do is get all the wiring off the original wheel. So it'll be this wire, this loom here. The paddles will actually stay because I've got new paddles, so we won't need to change them over. So just them two will come off and they'll go onto the new one, and we'll get that on. Then the next bit I'll show is unbolting this wheel. So I've got the extension for the bolt, so I've had to go in from here and do it. So I'm just going to have to very slowly do this until I can do it with my hands. I'm actually knackered. Working not in the unit is actually really tough. Shout out to any mobile mechanics that actually have to work. If you forget one tool, it can be deadly. I'm feeling the effects of it right now. My elbows just killing from like pulling trims and stuff. Alright, so we've got this out now. Pull this off. Got to match that notch. Remember the notch I was talking about in the Golf video. Just got to make sure it matches. So that's not been on. Pull that out. That's my mate's Type R pulling up right now. This is what you can hear. Now for the swap over to the new wheel. You have to make sure this goes on with complete accuracy. Check that. First time. Luckily, first time it's gone on. So let's get it bolted in before anything else. Found a way to tighten it. Just to get this done on time. This is the only safe way I could have done it without wrecking the wires over here. Okay, that's solid now. Carefully take this out. Had to remove part of the trim to do it, but it's done. It's nice and tight now, that bolt. So now it is time to clean up these wires. Get a bit of the wiring loom tape. But I want to test that it works. But to do that, we're going to have to reconnect the battery. I want to make sure everything works before we... So let's plug everything in. Oh. The wiring is going to be done at another part. So for now, just the steering wheel itself should work. And so should the multifunction buttons. And of course the airbag. So I'm going to test that for now just to make sure they work. If they work, then we're good to go. If they don't, then there's no point continuing as of right now. So push that in, and just sit the airbag there. That looks amazing. Go reconnect the battery and we'll find out. Oof. It does work. Right, so everything's complete. Please ignore the fact that I'm soaked. The weather is just horrible, but we've got the job done. Everything is done. Press the start button. This is pre-wiring, so I've not wired the start button up to work yet, but because I've connected everything up behind the steering wheel, it lights up already. And to my surprise, if I get it, show you now, the drive select button does work already. Even though in the instructions it showed me that there is a certain pin that goes into the drive select, I've not actually done any of that yet, and it's already working. So the drive select works. Start doesn't, but drive select does. So the next bit is we're going to move on to getting the wiring for this done, and then hopefully the start button should work as well, and then it's complete. So after a little detour, we're now back at the unit, and you can finally start to see and appreciate the steering wheel properly. Once it's fully complete, I'm going to go through all the specs properly, but we've done the whole steering wheel side of things, but that doesn't include actually getting the buttons to work. It just involves giving them power, which is why they light up now. But to my surprise, if I show you now, the drive select already works. I have no idea why. The only thing I can think, the Audi RS3 and the A3 facelift steering wheel has a star button on it, which is like a button on here that you can kind of set to what you want. So you can have it to set the drive modes, you can have it set to change the maps from day and night. So I can only assume that within the wiring loom of that obviously has the option to change the drive select already on the steering wheel, which is the only reason I can guess why this drive select button has worked without us doing anything else. Obviously there's nothing on the steering wheel to let the car start, which is why the start button doesn't work. That's the only thing I can guess, but I might not be right. But now we're going to get on with actually doing the wiring to get the start button sorted. So I thought I was down and out, thought it wasn't working. We tried everything, and after some fiddling about, the car's on now. Let me show you. No one is touching any buttons. Look, there's the other start button. So I'll show you on one clip. Hopefully I don't have to put my ghost in to show you this. It works. I'm absolutely buzzing. Drive select was already working. We've got no issues there. But start, stop, now works. I am absolutely buzzing. So we're done with the installation of the steering wheel now. Wasn't anywhere near as difficult as I thought it would be. That's the first time I ever tried. My knowledge of cars now is so much more, and the people around me who can help as well. We got it done fairly simply. There was a point with this where we had two connectors in the wrong place, the pins, and I thought it wasn't going to work because the button worked once, then it wouldn't work, and then once we swapped them, it worked instantly with no issues at all. I'm buzzing now. So you'll have just seen some cinematic clips. I'm going to walk you over the wheel now, go through the specs of it. There'll be a lot of people who might want to order the same or elements of it. So we're going to go through that now. So here's the final product. So it's a forged carbon steering wheel. obviously the red flakes are what will be throwing you off. So these are actually red flakes within the forged carbon. So it's something that's been around for a while, but not many people have actually known about it or ordered it. And I thought it's time that I finally ran one with the flakes. People will have mixed opinions on it, but I thought it was finally time to show how it looks, you know, as opposed to just pictures. This is probably the most raw image you're going to get of it. I'm recording on my phone right now, so it's not like a high HD camera that's trying to make it look better than it is. I think it looks amazing, but it will split opinion again. And on the top, I didn't go for the LED rev counter. As I said, I don't like them. I think this setup here is perfect for me. I think a LED would have made it just too much, and I'll admit myself that, in my opinion, I'm border of too much right now. So to match up with the top and bottom, I've gone with forged carbon Eurus shaped paddle shifters with the red flake within them as well. Now if you look in close detail, you'll see there's a plus and minus within that, under the red flake or on top of the red flake. And yeah, they are in the shape of the actual Eurus paddles from the Lamborghini Eurus. Now a lot of people are going to ask me why I didn't go for that R8 steering wheel. Well, in my last video of the RS3, I told you that I see this as like a baby Lambo. So if I went for an R8 steering wheel, it would kind of contradict the whole R8 thing that I'd actually said when the whole Lambo thing that I'd actually said when I'm here showing you an R8 steering wheel and then calling it a baby Lambo. So that's why I went with the Eurus paddles, so it gives you kind of Lamborghini feeling. They are literally Lamborghini Eurus paddles, but for this Audi, they're made to fit this Audi, and they have the forged carbon with the red flake. I think it look amazing. Then we've gone Alcantara on the sides, Alcantara 9002, so it's made to match up with my gear selector, my side panels, my door cards. It's made to match up with all of them. So on my Golf R, I went with the perforated leather. To be honest, I've never minded it, but I think with this, with the whole Audi thing and the whole Audi theme in here, you just have to go Alcantara. And that's why I've matched it up with the airbag cover as well. I went red stitching on both, as you can see the contrast here. I went red stitching on both. I wanted to black out the middle of it, so I've gone gloss black on the badge here and gloss black on the surround badge as well. And then to top it off, we've got the drive select buttons. So that's the upgrade done. As you can see, it's a huge upgrade for your steering wheel. You can literally customize the top of the wheel, the sides, the shape, the paddles. You can even do the trim, which I didn't do on this because it was too much and I didn't want to kill it off. But the gloss black trim that I've got, you can even customize that. You can customize the airbag cover. Obviously we added the start stop buttons, and now we've shown you that they're functional as well. Which is a massive thing for me because we have attempted it before. It's actually with an old supplier. It was a different kind of kit that they'd supplied for the buttons, and we just couldn't figure it out. It's too confusing. But this one, we've simplified it. It's something I've been working on for over a year, and slow progress, but slowly I'm starting to build the business that I always wanted. Like this start stop button thing was something I always wanted. I think one of my friends was actually the first person in the country to do it, and we're going back to about 2017, 2016 here. That's how far back. We're in 2022 now. This thing has become very common throughout COVID, 2020, 21 and 22. But I first seen this done back in 2016. My friend had an S3, he bought an R8 steering wheel with the start buttons on it, and he paid, at that time, he paid £500 just to get them working, and now it can be done for within £200. That's how much we've simplified it down to. And all this time I've not actually been able to do it, so I'm so happy that we've got that done. Obviously another option that I've not put on mine is because I just don't like them, but you've seen it on my C63, is the LED rev counter. I'm not personally a fan of it. It's a gimmick. I even don't recommend it to my customers, even though we make money on it, because over here I tell people about what I think is right and not what I think is going to make me money, and I just don't like it, which is why I don't put them on my own. The Golf R don't have it, and neither does this. But yeah, that is basically it. If you like the video, please like, subscribe and share. Take care. Peace out.